Hey YouTube, what is up? I'm the Rockin Aerodactyl with Jspeckz here.
Hey, what's up, people? Your boy Jspeckz. Welcome to the podcast, people. Welcome.
Yes, this is the All Things Pokemon podcast between Jspeckz and I. We will be the main host, I guess you could say, for the show. And then whenever Tyler, also known as Fanbase, can get on board, he will be joining us. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Maybe we can have a few of our extra friends hop on every once in a while, have a little special guest. But I am absolutely ecstatic to get this started. This has been hyped for a while, and I mean, what better way to start than with all the new Pokemon Sun and Moon hype?
Yeah, so that is what the first episode will be about, Pokemon Sun and Moon. So for those of you that don't know, a new video just got released today. Today is the 10th of May, 2016. And do you want to talk about the video?
Oh my goodness, that video was amazing. Bro, listen, I woke up, I was like, "Oh no. I think I missed a video." I woke up at like 8:30 just to see that everybody saw it and was going crazy, but luckily for me, I didn't see any spoilers on Twitter. So I just went straight to the link and it blew me away. It blew me away.
Yeah, I hear ya. All right, and then all right. So let's start about it. First off, we have the region confirmed. It's kind of like Hawaii themed, right?
I
It's
love it. I
yeah.
love that. That's beautiful. Can
Um,
we just take a time to appreciate how like much better they're getting with the graphics as each generation goes on? Like, and I'm just talking about from X and Y to now. Like, it
oh,
looks
it's great.
so much significantly better. Like, it's crazy. Like, everybody thought they took a huge step up with ORAS. Look at this. This is crazy.
Yeah, the region's actually called the Alola region. It's like Alola. So I mean, it sounds like right there Hawaii themed. So I'm so hyped for that, and I agree. The graphics have just been improving. I was really happy with Oras. Now we have. I don't know what's short's gonna be. What's gonna be short for Sun and Moon? Just SM. I don't know, but
I mean,
it,
SM maybe.
it's already so
That can
short.
work.
So I don't know.
That can work. That can work. I'm just hyped, man,
Yeah,
because
I hear you.
the same way I was with X and Y and ORAS, I was just able to sit back and enjoy the scenery and just look how far we came. Because I'm a Gen 1er. I'm
Yeah.
red and blue and yellow. Just to see that pixelated, horrible graphics, no disrespect, because those are amazing games. I played blue. I had blue version, okay, people. But to see it get from what it is back then to what it is now is a ridiculous advancement.
Oh, definitely. And oh wait, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. From back, and also think about all the new mechanics they've added, such as
Yeah,
I mean Mega
it's
Evolution, and there's
crazy.
rumored to be a new one, new form of evolution for
Hey, let's
Cinnamon.
touch on that. How do you feel about that? Because I honestly think they don't need to add anything else. We don't need to be gimmicky. This
Yeah,
doesn't need to turn into Digimon. Like
I agree.
I was already skeptical with them adding Mega Evolution. I'm just happy the way they
Hmm.
incorporated it. It took a while to get used to, but it didn't feel too overpowered, because you
Yeah.
can only have one Mega. Once it dies, you can't mega something else.
Hmm.
Like they limited it. They limited it to the point where it's not overbearing. But for them to add something else, like come on, we don't need it.
I
Pokemon fans love it how it is.
I completely agree. And what I did love about Evolution though is because it brought like the Pokemon all the way back to Gen 1, which had lower base stats than newer generation Pokemon. It basically
Yeah,
gave them that boost they needed to be viable basically in a lot of
yeah,
battles.
yeah.
So I do like that. And again, they also did limit it, which I did like to one, so it's not overpowered. But it's rumored because of like the way the Japanese titles won that there'll be a new one, and then also in the
Hmm.
anime there's like that weird Ash Greninja. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
that
I,
that that's kind of scaring me a little bit
yeah.
because
So
is that going to be in the game? And if so, is it still going to be called Ash Greninja?
I hope not. I really do hope not. I hope they stick with Mega Evolution. I do want to see new Megas, possibly Gen 6, or just just add more flavoring to the already
Yeah.
pile of spice as you would.
I
Uh,
want to see some gen. I want to see Mega Dragonite. They need to show
yes,
the OG some respect. He's like the only pseudo that really didn't get any respect.
I do agree. There's definitely a lot of Pokemon from Gen 1 and 2 that if you got a Mega Evolution, then that would be good, in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like
And then
Dragonite, completely agree.
everybody is like expecting for the Gen 2 starters to get Megas for some strange reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it because
Mhm.
Meganium is absolutely horrible, but I wouldn't say they necessarily need them. I mean, Meganium needs it. Meganium needs something,
I
my lord.
agree. However, I do know that for alligator is definitely great. My friend, Ian M. I can't pronounce his last name. It's like McLaughlin, but he goes by at. He used to go by at Raikou, and now he's at Palkia on Twitter. But he won a midseason showdown with a Feraligatr.
Oh my!
It was a choice span and not Life Orb, but it goes to show that like Feraligatr I think is actually underrated because with Life Orb Sheer Force that gets that times 0.6 I believe boost, but it takes no recoil, which is just
Yeah,
great.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
it's
Sheer
so
Force
good.
is ridiculous. It's
So
just overshadowed because it's on the slower. I wouldn't say it's slow, but it's on the slower side. But as
it.
far as Dragonite goes, though, I mean,
I
they
agree.
don't even have to give him a Mega. Just give him Brave Bird. give
Yeah,
him, give him
just a
Brave Bird, and I
physical
won't
bird
complain.
move. A physical bird move would be great. So good. If they did give him a little speed though, that would be nice. Because then, I feel like even if they did give him Brave Bird, that Pokemon like Mega Salamence would still be used more than Dragonite.
Yeah, because Mega Salamence, man, that thing is broken.
I loved it. Post 2015, I would use Naughty Salamence and just double edge everything, and you get so many Okos. So
Oh man,
I
oh,
miss that. Like in 2016, at least you can talk more about like OU or like the
yeah, the
uh,
tiers and the
yeah.
singles. I got that because
I'm
you're the VGC
yeah. I
champion.
don't know much about that. I just focus on VGC, but but now in VGC 2016, you have to run naive, so you have to be like Mega Rayquaza, which isn't that much used anymore, but you still want to, so you can beat
Yeah,
it. Otherwise, but with naive, he's not getting all the Okos, which I'm like, oh, why? And then you got
yeah.
Xerneas.
And I mean, with just standard singles play for Smogon, I'm a Smogon player. I also play League format, wink wink. But yeah, we don't even get the opportunity to use all the great megas you guys can use in VGC anymore. Everything that seemed a little bit overpowered is actually absolutely banned. Like Smogon
Yeah.
just pulls out the Bam Hammer, and no, you're not using that. You're not ripping anyone to shreds. So I haven't been able to use Salamence in months. It was how long was it in OU for? It was in
I don't
OU for a
remember.
little bit, but then it got banned, and then that was it. Like, but stuff like Mega Lucario, Mega Gengar, Mega Kangaskhan, we don't get to see that stuff, man.
I hear you. I remember in 2015 they actually banned Landorus in incarnate form. You know the one where it's like a genie.
Yeah,
I was
Orlando
very
I, he's
surprised.
strictly
Not
Ubers.
yeah. I was just like, what?
I
Um,
mean, he just from because I don't play Ubers. That's the I don't like
yeah, I
having
hear
all
you.
those gargantuan
I hear you.
behemoths battle. Like I don't like that part of Pokemon. But as far as Lando I played it. I played against it in league format and absolutely destroys teams. Like if you don't have a check for it, you are losing a lot. A
I hear you.
lot.
All right, now back on the Sun and Moon. We were talking about that weird Mega Evolution where that'll be interesting what they do with it. I hope they just add more Mega Evolutions. To be honest, not too much, but just some thing. Because I mean, they're already giving us a whole bunch, hopefully more than 85 new Pokemon. Like
I
in
hope
X and
so.
Y, it was like what 80 something.
Yeah, they kind of shortchanged us. Well, I can't even say that because we're almost at 700. I
Yeah,
really think if I'm kind of skeptical. Like I think they're trying to find a good number to end it at,
I
but
agree.
I think they want to get close to 1,000, but not necessarily 1,000 because like come on, 1,000 Pokemon, that's that's kind of insane.
That's definitely crazy. Agreed. Okay, sorry, I was just checking something.
No,
But
it's all right. It's all right.
all right. We're talking about Pokemon. That's right. So speaking of Pokemon, do we want to talk about the new starters?
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh please. Oh please. Yo, that little owl. I forget what is his name. I
I have
forget.
it opened right here. Rowlet, I believe is how you say it.
Yo, he turns his whole head around.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
I saw the animation and like I just had a tear. Like, oh, he doesn't walk in circles. He just turns his head. I'm like, oh yes,
I don't know if you've seen the GIF on Twitter.
yes,
I might have to tag you with it, but with him blowing things up when he turned around,
oh yes.
that GIF is
Oh,
hilarious. Like he attacked the water starter, and then he blew it up,
I
and
love
then
it.
he turned around with his head and blew up his trainer. It was hilarious.
I'm just Rowlet. I love just for the gifs. I even saw one where he actually because when you do see him, like when you're presenting him, they all turn in one circle. But it's
Yeah.
just that continuously, and because of his round body, he's just constantly spinning. It just, I
And
love
I
it.
find it looks adorable.
It
Like
really
as
does.
far the water starter, it's cute, but I don't know,
It
man.
just looks
It's
too
just
it doesn't look like fierce or Pokemon-y. It's just
It looks like it's gonna be another Samurott. Like it's gonna
it
be
yeah.
underwhelming.
It does. And what I like about Rowlet though is that you're starting off with the grass flying. So starting off, you have that little bit of diversity.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
But
I'm really. I hope it's. I hope that is the best starter of the three, like stat wise. I hope
yeah,
that's the Greninja of this generation. Like,
agreed. Oh, sorry.
no, no, no. You're
Okay.
all right. You're all right.
I noticed that if you think about it, Hoot and Noctowl, they're like not a barn owl, horned owl. So I'm expecting the final evolution of Rowlet to be more like a barn owl, just based on its color scheme and design.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm kind of hoping that it gets obviously things like Hurricane and Leaf Storm, just to
Oh
get
my goodness,
that
that
is
would be
with a high
amazing.
base speed stat. Oh, I would love that so much. And I'm
Or
also
think about it as like a support mon. What if it
oh
gets
definitely,
Tailwind? What if it
and the
gets
bulk. Oh, bulk,
Leap
please.
Seed Tailwind? Oh my
Oh,
goodness, that
the
the
possibilities.
possibilities.
Grass flying is just great. I mean, you're 4 times weak to ice, but then again, there's already so many things in the competitive scene that are. You're gonna get used to that.
Yeah, most of the mons that are good are 4 times weak to ice.
Yeah.
Did you
So,
see the shiny forms?
are they released? I have not seen
Yeah,
those.
the shiny forms are released. I hold on, let me see. One of the chats I'm in, somebody actually sent me that. I can try to grab that for you right now, and then I'll drop it in the chat. I have to see. My good friend Sharpino found that for me and dropped it. He also dropped it on Facebook, so if I can't find that there, I can get it there. But let me see. Come on, this is the only thing I hate about Skype, man. So many messages to go through.
I hear ya.
But as far, what do you think their hidden abilities will be? As I'm looking for this.
Okay, so the biggest thing I'm always excited about for new Pokemon isn't just the new mons itself; it's the new abilities that are incorporated. So, I don't know for Rowlet. I kind of hoping. I'm gonna be honest. I doubt it will get this, but if it got thick fat, I would be complete
Ooh,
because I doubt it would. But that way, it's not 4 times weak to ice.
that's beautiful.
I mean, I doubt it will, but if it did, that Pokemon would just be complete for me. So I'm always excited for new abilities, new hidden abilities, to be honest.
Yeah,
So I have no ideas at the moment, but I'm just pointing out if it got thick fat by some miracle, that would just be perfect for this
yeah.
Mon.
Thick fat would actually be amazing for that.
Oh, it'd be great.
Especially, I'm happy that they like. I want them to go into like a different. What's the? I want them to go in a different way as far as their starters. I want
Yeah,
them to actually go against the grain and not give us fire, water, grass one time. Give us something different. Break it up. Change it. That would be amazing. What if we got fairy dragon steel for
oh, that'd be
starters one
great.
day?
And I
That'd be
mean,
insane.
they
Or
have,
dark psychic ghost or something like that.
yeah, they have kind of tried that, like in Sinnoh, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, and Kanto, the all 3 final starters have a second typing that counteract each other.
Yeah.
But still, it's like I agree. It's like if they did alter that one time, that would be nice. But at the same time, it's also like going on that continuous. This is a Pokemon theme. Shall we move on to the next starter?
Yeah, and move on to the next one. And I actually found a photo, so I'm about to drop that in our chat right now.
All right, sweet. Oh, I just
I
saw its
am
head spin,
grab.
like just the owl. Oh,
Oh, you said the
I
owl.
love it. I love it.
All right.
All right.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me save it like this.
So Rowlet's obviously going to be a grass flying type. The cat one, Litten is its name, Litten. I'm expecting it to become a fire dark type, just
And
because.
I'm expecting everybody to nickname it It's Lit, and I really don't want them to do that, but it's coming. You know it is.
Oh, of course.
Everybody's gonna nickname it It's Lit. Oh my gosh, I can hear it now. All right, and the shinies are incoming, so if you want to pop those bad boys on the screen, you
Oh yeah,
can.
sure. All right, sweet.
And tell me what you think of them. I absolutely love the grass starter shiny form. It is beautiful.
Nice. All right, getting that in here right now, and the guys, I'm currently adding it to the. Sorry, I gotta go to pictures. Here we go. Okay, so here I'll edit that and shrink that real quickly, but
Beautiful.
yeah, here are the. Here's a good spot actually, right here for the shinies. Oh, the owl looks amazing, Growlithe.
The owl looks amazing.
That bow tie. I love the bow tie on it. Just that little bit of class.
Yeah.
The cat I do like too, that gold and brown color scheme.
It looks more like Lux right now, like
It,
that.
it really does. And then you get to the water starter, and you're still
And
thinking,
it kind of it reminds me of Jellicent like that. Like
oh
it goes,
yeah, because it got the frills. Like yeah, I actually see that. I didn't think of that before. Huh. But that is the shiny guys. So, wow, I didn't know they released that. That is awesome.
yeah, my friend found it earlier. If he said it was fully released, he's a credible source. He's a YouTuber as well.
I hear you.
But I don't. What do you think's gonna be the cats? Because I still have to force myself to physically learn their names, and I don't want to
Litten.
call this thing Litten because everybody's gonna call it it's lit,
I
and
know.
I'm just preparing myself for the
Yeah,
worst.
mentally prepare yourself, guys. But
It looks like Lipard to me. I mean,
yeah,
I would not be surprised if it got Prankster and it was just a copy Lipard. Or I want to see them give us like powerful legends. Like I want one of these mons to have a broken ability like Greninja had. Like give that
Protein,
cat
yeah.
adaptability.
Oh yes.
Let it be Ghost Fire or Dark Fire or let it be Fairy Fire and give
Mm,
it adaptability. It would be insane.
agreed. Adaptability. That would be adaptability, protein. Both either of those. I expect adaptability more on this guy, but yeah, agreed. So typing though, I do expect it because of its scheme. I could very well be wrong. It could stay raw fire or maybe become raw fighting. I can see that too because of like the band marks. But I expect it to become fire dark at the moment, just because it's so dark, and the eyes too.
And it looks like it's going to be one of those fast but hit sort of hard type of mons.
Yeah,
Like it's not going to be able to take any hits. It's going to be very, very fast, be
it'll
able
be
to
a
do some
sash
things
mon.
for you. But it's not going to be like the owl. It's not going to be able to sit in there and take hits. And then with this seal, I literally don't know. Like it literally just looks like Samurai. Like it looks like it's going to be an attacker or a
Yeah,
tank, but it's going to be underwhelming in whichever stat it
yeah.
it's really there for.
Unless
Then
you get some
again,
broken ability.
yeah, it could throw us off and actually be amazing, and we all be wrong. I hope for that. If that's what's
Agreed.
gonna happen, I'm gonna be happy because I'm planning on picking that starter. Fun fact: when I do my LP when the game drops.
Nice. I will say this though, I'm kind of nervous that they're gonna like keep this circus theme and the final evolution is just gonna have a scary clown face. I'm just being honest. I did not want that to happen.
Oh my goodness, yo, that name is actually kind of ridiculous too.
Yeah, let me pull.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, let me pull up the name. It's a Popilo,
Pop
Pop,
Popular or
and
something like
it
that.
says
Like
bark.
I
Like
saw
a
so
seal.
many reactions in my sub box, and everybody but Nappy was upset with this thing. Like Nappy was the only person like, "Oh my god, that's the starter I'm gonna choose," and everybody else is like,
No,
"That thing is hideous." What
man.
Everybody's attacking the poor seal.
Yeah, and I think for that he should get some credibility. I'm like, maybe he'll get Ice Beam. So there's that. I bet he'll get Ice Beam. There's your
Now,
Ice
I
type.
think it's getting hate because nobody wants another Walrein or Dugong.
Agreed.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Just like with this cat, I don't want it to be another Lightbird. We don't want this owl to be another Noctowl. Like,
Yeah.
let them be different. Like, let it
Yeah,
be
this-
noticeably different.
Generation 7, we don't repeat a new Pokemon. We want something new. Which, you mentioned Prankster, and that just got me thinking. I could see, depending on the Rowlet, it getting Prankster too.
Oh, the owl? Really?
Yeah.
Think so?
I can see that being possible. I'm just thinking, like, in my mind here, if you got Hypnosis, like Noctowl,
Uh-huh.
Prankster Hypnosis with Gravity.
You want to know what I think I could see the owl getting?
What?
Compound eyes.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Because it's an owl with the all-seeing eye. I can see it. Hypnosis, sleep powder, since it's a grass type, it should have access to those.
Agreed.
I can see it being an amazing support mon if it gets something like that.
Oh, definitely. And what's also nice though is, oh yeah, because it is a grass type, it's actually immune to things like rage powder and sleep
Yeah.
powder, which is also nice. I can also see it. Another thought. I don't actually see this happening, but this would be. I would just love this even more if it got one of these abilities contrary, kind of like superior, just for that Lee
Ooh.
Storm spam. That'd be.
That would be
I would
nice.
definitely enjoy that.
Oh, something else out of nowhere I can see because the way the cat kind of its mannerisms looks like it can get defiant. Like it looked like
Hmm.
it would be an amazing defiant mon.
Oh, I can definitely see that. Fast, get the Intimidate boost, and then yeah, I definitely see that. kind of like a fire version of Bisharp. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like I can definitely see it having some attack, like let's say base 110 attack, like base 125 speed.
Hmm.
So like a not as strong hitting Weavile and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have Defiant and absolutely rip people to shreds.
Yes, agreed. I just again, I hope Populo becomes good because currently it scares me a little. I'm just gonna
I,
be
I
on.
can see it honestly. I can see Blastoise, Samurott, like well, Samurott was the least of all the water starters in my opinion.
Yes,
Like I
definitely.
can see it being bulky like Blastoise, Swampert.
Hmm.
My highest hopes for this thing, since it's blue and pink, is for it to be Water Fairy.
Oh, you can definitely see that. Actually, I think that would make it viable in a way. That's a very interesting typing. You get access to ice moves because almost every water type gets access to my ice moves, and fairy, making it a good dragon killer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the fact that it's normally blue with a pink nose and pink with a blue nose makes me seeing Fairy type as one of its typings later on actually a plausible thing. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can definitely see that thing
Oh
being a
yeah, I
fair.
see that.
Or maybe it's just me trying to be optimistic and hoping that it's not just going to be another water ice type.
Agreed. So now that we've gone over the starters, I think the next thing is I believe I looked just by looking at the characters, pretty obvious, but I believe they also confirmed that customizable characters again, like you can customize
Yeah,
them.
if in the Japanese
Yeah,
one they actually kind of they because they showed the slides of the skin differences
that's right.
as
Yes.
well as there's certain slides in the video where the main character had a shirt with like red stripes on his sleeves or blue stripes, and then another one where it had black stripes. So
Yeah.
I'm absolutely hyped to be able to put myself back in the game. So now when I do
Exactly.
my intro and say it's Jspeckz, this is gonna be me on the screen and on the screen. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I know why in ORAS they didn't. I feel they could have added to an extent some customization, like maybe different clothes. But obviously, you want to keep the general same character, I guess, because it is a remake of the original games. But
Yeah.
that's still something I miss because now everyone's the exact same and there's no uniqueness. So I am so hyped for character customization.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be ridiculous. I wonder how many different combinations of clothes and stuff like that they're gonna have for us compared to X and Y.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and that was basically the new mechanic. And then we also have the legendaries confirmed. We don't know their names,
Oh
but
man,
I'm looking at them right now. You got the sun one, which looks like this lion. It basically looks like a glorified. It reminds me of a glorified. What's it called?
it looks like a Zoid to me.
A what?
A Zoid. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. It used to be on Cartoon Network. A bunch of like animalistic robots that people used to ride in. They kind of had minds of their. You'll see it on Twitter. I will tag you in it on Twitter after it's,
All
it's
right,
done. You'll know what I'm talking about.
you got it. What's it called? It's the evolution of like Litleo. Pyroar.
Pyroar?
Pyroar.
Ah,
Yes. It
Pyroar,
reminds me a
Pyroar.
lot of Pyroar, but at the same time, I love the color scheme. The gold and white and fire. It's obviously a fire type. If not, I don't feel like I should be a YouTuber if I say it's a fire type and then it's not. I'm like, I'm out, guys. I'm sorry. I feel like this was
I
Nami's
mean,
prediction.
I think that's a fair assumption. It looks kind of like a fire type.
And
It's
it's
equivalent to the sun.
sun. Yeah,
And
they're gonna make it like electric psychic, and I'm like, I'm out. But in all seriousness, I feel like it could be fire psychic just because in the show, its head is glow. It has a star-like theme to it on its forehead, and its
yeah,
eyes glow blue. Kind of
that's
look like psychic.
insane. I love it. What if I hope they add like a cosmic typing or something like that.
That would be
Just like
great, actually,
that'd be
because
amazing.
that would definitely I feel like revolutionize Pokemon, just like the fairy typing did with because of the new typings, and finally now we have a way to beat all these dragons. I
Yeah,
def
because they added fairy, but now fairy's broken.
yeah.
Dragon used to be broken, but now fairy's
Of
broken. So
course,
we need
Dragon is
something.
still is because of their second typing and their high attack. Like, I mean, Mega
Yeah.
Rayquaza can still OHKO. I know Jack the Battler used Choice Band, Mega Rayquaza, and just
Oh my.
Dragon ascended everything. That was
Well,
fun.
that thing is broken in the fact that
Yeah.
it's a mega that can use items. Like that's not
And
even
180
fair.
attack, and 180 special attack,
That's
and 115 speed with, like, no super effective damage except for Fairy and Dragon.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's like, no.
insane. Now, how do you feel about the big bat Dracula looking one?
Yes. So
Because originally before this, I was Team Moon, but then that lion dropped, and I might
exactly.
have to change my mind because it looks like Mufasa reborn.
I was the same way. I was thinking more towards Moon because I was thinking like in game, like it also depends on like what the exclusive Pokemon become and what exclusive items or legendaries or whatever. But I definitely between them, I'm definitely leaning more towards the lion. I feel like the lion definitely might be a little more bulky. I mean, that bat thing just looks so frail. Like, I bet its defense stats gonna be low. I mean, it's so skinny.
Oh well, yeah, it doesn't really look like a Pokemon to me. I don't know if it's just
I'm
me.
kind yeah, no, I completely agree. I was just, it kind of scares me. Now, you do get to see its signature attack, which is like forms a spiral and then a beam. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Oblivion Wing in a way, just more
Yeah.
bright. So, I don't know. I'm also curious if Smeargle will be able to use that move because of the animation.
Ooh. Oh, what the move that he used? That
Yeah,
move looked amazing.
I do agree. The Bats move looks beautiful.
It
The one,
looked amazing.
I know Smeargle. There's very few moves Smeargle can't use. The signature for Hoopa, Hyperspace Fury Hole,
Uh-huh.
it actually can't use that.
Oh my, can he use a V-Create?
Yes, I believe it can use V Create. I know it can't use the Hoopa signature, which I thought was interesting. Actually, my first VGC tourney this season, I was running that signature move on Smeargle, expecting it to work. I
Yeah.
wanted a powerful Dark type attack, and I said, "Hey, this doesn't have a base damage. It sounds good." It didn't work, so then I went from knockoff and then from knockoff
Oh
to foul
no.
play, which foul play, in my opinion, is the best attack move on Smeargle because it's based on your opponent's attack. And then you
Yeah,
can
and
also run,
Smeargle
like,
has
I run
limited.
Swagger on my Sableye, so I Swagger foul play, which is fun. But, yeah, so I'll be interested to know if Smeargle can actually use that attack, which is something I've been questioning, like, wait, because of this unique animation with the Pokemon, can it? So what I'm predicting is that them to have very, like, stat-wise, I'm expecting them to have very similar stats. I'm expecting them both to have access to Morning Sun and Moonlight, just because
Oh,
I expect the bat to be specially bulky. It looks like it's really specially bulky, but defensively it looks frail.
yeah.
And maybe it's vice versa for the lion. However, the lion looks more all around in general.
Yeah, the line looks like, I mean, in reference to what you were just saying, the bat kind of looks like it doesn't want any physical altercation,
Yeah,
whereas the lion will get all up in your face. So
it,
I can see the lion being physical and the bat being special, but a special nightmare, literally. Like it'll
yeah,
be able to destroy you.
yeah. I'm kind of hoping actually, if it is physical, we get Sacred Fire on.
Oh my goodness.
Please, just give me Sacred Fire. I mean,
Then,
plus the new signature, but just Sacred Fire and then that ability to burn and do that damage, that'd be great.
oh man.
I mean, but looking at the bat now, I mean, what bothers me though is that it's this kind of reminds me of Mega Salamence, and that it's like a crescent shape.
Oh yeah, that discus
Yeah,
stuff.
the
I
disc,
don't understand what's
but
going on.
it doesn't have any limbs. I mean, it has its wings, but no way to land, or it's just always floating. It kind of bothers me. I mean, with Cresselia, I'm not bothered by it because it looks like it can rest, but this thing, like if it lays down, it's paper flat. So
Oh yeah, I
that
see what you're
that
talking about. I
does
see what you're
bother
talking about.
me. Next thing I guess is the um. Oh, we finally have the cover because remember, on Cerebi they released on Cerebi they also showed it, but on is it what is the Corico?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Koro.
they showed like a blurred image and just confirmed it's for the 3DS. But now we do have the box art and it looks okay. I mean,
Yo, the funniest thing about it is didn't like I'm pretty sure when somebody put fake silhouettes out of what the legends were, didn't they kind of look like what they are?
they did
Like
actually.
whoever's been doing these leaks is pretty dang good with these
They're
leaks.
brilliant.
They are literally spot on every time. But I actually have something that I think we should cover in regards to Gen 7
All
being the
right.
new. There with certain with fairies being added and everything, there's certain moves that we don't have. Like there's certain mons that will never be able to get fairy coverage. And you know why? Because hidden power fairy and natural gift fairy are not a thing. Do you think those will be implemented in the upcoming games? Because
Uh,
I feel as if they have.
So do I feel as if Hidden Power Fairy would be
To be.
implemented? You said. I'm sorry, it's a little fuzzy.
Oh no, it's all right. I just see that all of a sudden everything just went iffy. But I'm
Yeah.
saying hidden power fairy, and natural gift fairy. Do you think those have to be added to?
Oh, like the Hidden Power moves.
Yeah,
Oh,
because there's a hidden
definitely,
power for
definitely.
everything else but fairy.
Yeah, I
So
don't know why they did that.
mons that are quad weak to fairy can't. I mean, mons that normally can't touch things that are weak to fairy have no fairy coverage.
No, I agree. I think they should. And I think the reason they didn't is because the way it's currently set up
Yeah,
is because of like the IVs, so they'd have to rearrange that.
yeah, I hear
But
that.
I
I
mean,
hear that.
you're also adding in you're 2 generations in now with fairy, and there's a chance you could add another typing. So I feel like you should at this point, though.
Because literally, if Hidden Power Fairy and Natural Gift Fairy were a thing, Mega Sableye wouldn't be half as dangerous as it was.
Definitely, definitely, Mecha Sableye is
Because
so
mons
OP.
that would normally not be able to touch it can now touch it with Natural Gift or with Hidden Power.
Yes, definitely. Um, yeah, I do agree. I feel like they should add the hidden power. Definitely. Going back to the cosmic typing really quickly. It occurred to me that while both the legendaries, they both have a similar color scheme. The bat's all over its body, but the lion one specifically on its forehead. So it is possible there could be like a space or like cosmic one, which would be interesting.
That would be amazing. Like literally, I wouldn't even be able to guess what it would be affected by and what it would be. Like what would it resist? Would it have any immunities? Like it's the thoughts running through my head adding a new type
Yeah,
are endless.
but the
I just
possibilities, yeah, it's so many
honestly
options.
I want them to make a type where normal actually is super effective against.
That'd be interesting. That would
Like
definitely be
I
interesting.
feel as if cosmic would be have to be like it could be a broken type, but it should be weak to normal if they were to make it.
Yep,
That
Kangaskhan would
way
be more broken
normal
though.
yep, normal types will get yeah, they would be more broken, but they'd actually get some more viability rather than not being super effective on anything.
I agree, but also I kind of if that was to happen, then Kangaskhan, assuming I don't know if they'll do this for this one, probably in the next set of games. I doubt they'll allow Pokemon from previous regions in the competitive scene.
Mhm.
Assuming they did, or like Pokemon only exclusive to that region. In that case, I really hope Sableye is. As long as Sableye is there, I'm happy because Sableye is my favorite prankster user because of
Yeah.
Recover and Will-O-Wisp. So I'm really hoping Sableye's in this region. But if they're only allowing Pokemon in that region, Will-O-Wisp users would definitely become big again because in the current competitive scene, they're not that viable. Or I mean, they're definitely viable. They're not that important because it's mostly Xerneas and Groudon and Kyogre, which you can't burn or there's no reason to burn him. But if Kangaskhan was to become big again, we could finally have Sableye be better again, or Will-O-Wisp users in general. Just the ability to heavily hurt your opponent with burn, which I would enjoy again.
Yeah, Mega Sableye, man. I it's not my cup of tea as far as what I usually like to use because I'm more of an offensive player, but
Yeah.
it's definitely it's definitely something you have to prep for, no matter
Hmm.
what the situation. Like you, even in regular OU, you can't be an OU without having something that can take on Sableye. It will
Yeah.
ruin your day.
I mean, think about it. You got Swagger. Quash, I guess, isn't as good in singles, but it's great in 2016 because you can Quash Fairy type, then have Ferrothorn Gyro Ball, which is always good. But I'm just so many options. That's why I love him. But yeah, I agree. Sableye is definitely pretty good. So, any predictions for new Pokemon they could add? I mean, I was pretty blown away with the collection from Kalos. Do you think are there any Pokemon you want to see or anything you think they'll
Uh,
add?
I mean, it's Hawaii, so I want to see some exotic fish type Pokemon. Like, show me a
Ooh,
dolphin. I know dolphins may not be, normal over there in Hawaii, but I'd be happy to see a dolphin.
agreed.
Or, yeah, I want to say a squid, even though we have Tentacruel, like a giant squid, because squids
We
obviously,
could use a new squid definitely,
yeah,
or a new octopus thing with arms. I would love to see that actually. I can see that getting good special attack or just good bulk in general.
yeah,
Possibly good recovery moves
and it,
because, or if it's like an octopus, same thing. I'd love to see that. Agreed.
yeah, and it's like I'd like to see like a panther Pokemon. I'd love
Yeah.
to see a kiwi Pokemon. I'd love to see like a dolphin, like Dolphin already said, but it's so many things they could do, you know? Like ostrich, I guess an ostrich is technically Dodrio, a
Yeah.
three-headed ostrich. But
Let's go four-headed.
there's a lot of things like there's capybaras, there's leopards, there's
Hmm.
jaguars. Like yes, they kind of all are part of the same family, but we don't even have a tiger Pokemon.
We don't. We
Unless
don't.
that's what unless that's what the lit
Li- the lion thing. Oh, the
Litten.
Litlian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Litten.
if that's what that's gonna be.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Something I want to see is in Hawaii culture. There's often a lot of things about like. First off, you got those weird tiki heads. So I kind of want to see like a ghost stone. Rock. I don't know why I said stone. A ghost rock type.
Yeah,
Because then you got. I love that idea because you have that fighting immunity with rock if you're a ghost.
yeah. That
Kind of
oh
good
my
such.
god.
So I do like that idea, or also maybe just more ghost types. Ghost types in general are my favorite, just because of their
Wait, rock ghost with levitate.
that. Oh yes, please.
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
that'd be beautiful.
That would be an amazing type for a tiki.
Oh, that'd be great. A floating tiki head. Oh, I love that so much.
How now? What do you think the hidden agenda is going to be for the team, or what do you think the name of the team is going to be?
Oh, you mean like the evil team?
Yeah, the evil organization, evil team,
Well,
whatever
this.
you guys want to call it out there. What do you think they're going to be trying to do? Because I've watched a lot of speculation videos. Everybody thinks it's going to have something to do with a sundial and a moon dial, or a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. Like everybody's thinking heavily into sun and moon. Whereas I mean, we should.
We should
But
definitely.
what if they don't go that deep into it? You know, what if they just want something basic? Well, not basic, but what if they have a basic mindset? You know.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, with Sun and Moon, first off, I was surprised by the name. I remember it was leaked the day before they announced it. I thought it was a fan-made game. I'm gonna be honest here. Sun and Moon. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
that
you weren't the
yeah,
only one. I was like, no, it's
yeah.
not Sun and Moon.
And then when I heard it was Sun and Moon, I was like, is this actually real, or is this like a bad translation from the actual thing? But because they released it in their Japanese
Speaking of
stream.
that, the names of the legends have been dropped technically. Like there were trademarks found that are supposed to be the names of the legends that were dropped before the pictures of the legends are dropped.
Oh, really?
And yeah, the lion is well, this was before again. We knew there was a lion in
Yeah.
a thing, but there was one called Solgaleo
So glad. I love that. I love that.
and then Lunala. And I
Hmm.
mean, those names fit because it's a combination of Sun and Galileo.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody know who Galileo is, but Leo is Spanish, I believe, for lion. And I mean, you put that and soul together, that kind of makes sense for that. And then Luna has to do with the moon.
Yeah.
And then I heard I watched Tyranitar Tube, so I mean he went in depth with it, and I think like Allah or something like that
Mhm.
has something to do with I forgot it was something weird, but I actually if those are the names, maybe they'll be translated some more.
Mhm.
But I can see those fitting. They just feel more Spanish to me
Yeah. Well,
than
in
English narration.
Spanish, lion is leon, but it's really close. It's really close to that. But I do like the names because it actually, if you look at the box art, the lion looks like it'd be more male, and the Batman looks like it could be more of a female-based
Yeah,
character.
I can
So the
see that.
names sound like that would go with that.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Now, my most important thing, I can't wait to get some more of these mons, man. I want to know what they're going to do to the
Yes.
competitive scene. Like, I want this to shake up competitive play
Yes, please.
tremendously.
Please.
Not saying that I don't like it, because I love it. I mean, Volcanion just has been available for us to use now, so all the leagues are incorporating that, and I'm
Oh, that's
hyped
nice.
for that. But it's just like I want so like this is the opportunity for us to get so much more mons, see so much different things. I just hope they take this opportunity to give us some good ones.
I
6 actually made a lot of good ones.
I agree. Going to the VGC side of things, 2014, even though it was the most restricted format I believe we've ever had, because we were very limited to the Pokemon we could use,
Hmm.
because we couldn't even use Pokemon brought in from Black and White and like breed them for their abilities and moves, so we were very limited. But what I loved about it was the most diverse format, surprisingly, because it forced people to be creative. And I mean, again, Pachirisu won Worlds, so
Oh my.
that just shows you diversity in 2014. In 2015, 2015 I have to admit was my favorite because while people use the same things, if you were creative, I really enjoyed it. I used things from Blaziken. Blaziken was hardly used. I used Raichu. I used Mega Venusaur. I used things that weren't the common trend. Oh, excuse me. So while there was a meta, you were very open options. But now in 2016, they're like, well, let's give you everything. And everyone's just using Big Six. And I'm like, oh, please stop. Just give us
Yeah, I
something
know.
new. So,
I've seen that. I've only dabbled in VGC a few times. I might actually ask you to join me on the VGC series I do on my channel. But every time I see like the same 6 or 7 Pokemon with like one small difference, and that's just on the VGC ladder
yeah.
on the yes, like this isn't me going to competitions. I could only imagine going to competitions.
Oh, it's
Everybody
awful.
Primal Groudon and Xerneas and Mega Rayquaza in the back and stuff like that.
It's always the same, even in competitions. I mean, or people use the big five as they're called, where they'll drop one mon and then they'll replace it with another. So it's either Big Six, Kyogre, or something along those lines. But they're just, and then don't get me started about Smeargle. I mean, I'm guilty of using Smeargle, but I don't use like the standard Moody. I actually use things like I use Choice Scarf with things like Transform and Foul
Oh
Play. And just
man.
I shake it up a little while. I do use Dark Void because I do want to capitalize on that. So many people are used to Dark Void that I hardly use it anymore. It's just a way to get back late in the game, but still, it's
Oh yeah, I remember. I wanted to talk to something. This has to do with both Gen 7 and BGC,
oh yeah,
but it slipped my mind randomly. Now, with Sun and Moon coming out, we're going to be able to take Mons from Red, Blue, and Yellow, your downloads,
yeah.
and bring them up. That brings access to Mons like Fissure Machamp.
Machamp, yes, I was thinking the same thing.
So
I would that would
does
be
that
great.
mean that Scarfed, No Guard, Fissure Machamp can be a thing?
I don't know. It depends. If they allow Pokemon from other games, then yes, that could be a thing. It depends if they do the clause where it has to be from that region. But if Fisher and Machamp, that would be great. I know everyone would use it, and they force you to use like a Levitate user or like Gengar would actually be great because you have the ability to Mega Evolve into that. But we could actually do first a switch into Gengar and then like disable so they're stuck in Fisher and then Mega Evolve so they're stuck. Of course, it gives them opportunities to switch, but there's definitely ways to beat that. But definitely, I would be interested if they allowed that. That would definitely be interesting because I remember actually you guys talking about that on one of your for the Pokemon Master Cup. I was
Yeah.
going through the comments to get caught up on the rules, so I know what I'm talking about next season. But
We really are excited to have you on board. I really can't wait.
thank you.
I can't wait for you to join. That's
Thanks.
insane.
I think what I'll bring is weird because I'm seeing everything from a VGC point of view. I remember Phantom Base asked me to help him battle, and I hope it's alright for me to say this. It was just, we had a practice session against his
Yeah.
opponent. So I literally threw together a team, all 252 spreads. I'm not kidding. We had 5 matches. I won all 5 matches, and I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I didn't have, apparently people use Stealth Rocks a lot. And
Yeah, Stealth
people,
Rocks is
yeah,
huge.
people are
in
like,
this
why don't I use that? I'm like, well, in VGC we don't use this. I see it as a waste as an opportunity to get a better setup or more damage off. So I didn't use
Yeah.
Stealth Rocks or any setup. I just used Pokemon that could hit hard or take switches. So that's how I play singles. So I'm that weird guy.
Yeah, no, the only reason why Stealth Rocks is so huge because with you it's literally one like it's one on one. So there's switches like crazy all the
Oh,
time.
definitely.
Whereas you don't really have that many opportunities. In VGC, you're not usually switching out every other turn, to try to predict something.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 mons anyway, so there's a big chance that you know what your opponent brought.
Mhm.
Whereas in singles, it's like, oh no, I have a Charizard. He's about to send out a fairy. I have Charizard X. He's about to send out a fairy type. I got to get out of here. Like it's stuff like that. Whereas
Yeah.
VGC, you can either check it with something else or click Rage Powder. There's so much more you can do.
Yeah.
Whereas that's why hazards in general, rocks, stealth rocks, toxic
Toxic
spikes,
spikes.
they're
Um,
all a big difference between you winning a game and absolutely getting destroyed.
I remember the one before I got into VGC, like this was weeks before I got into VGC. I decided to try and get good with singles, and I had this really bad strategy. I used in-game Pokemon. I was awful back in the
Oh, you
day.
brought you
So
brought
I
your
would use an
in-game
in-game
team.
Drapion. I would hope I wouldn't get knocked out and use Toxic Spikes once or twice. I think I ran Sash, so I would always get up once. And then when my Drapion died, I would just use Mega Gengar, Mega Evolve, and spam Hex.
Oh
Because
my.
then they'd get poisoned. But again, that wasn't really good. Again, I used in-game Pokemon. That was like the only single strategy I've ever used. And then I got a VC 2016, and I remember I'm gonna be honest, like I used hacked Pokemon back then because I just did it online and it was fine. So when I got a VC, I actually gave all my friends, I'm like, take all these mons, just take them. I gave them all of them, and then I deleted my game and started over. But so yeah, that's how I got into
Felt
VGC.
ashamed. Oh no, I'm cheating.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, because I remember going to my first VGC tournament. I get there and I realize, wait, I can't use hacked mons. So I remember this was so early in 2014. This was before Jolly Kangaskhan was a thing.
Oh
And I
my.
remember that because the person I borrowed a Kangaskhan from used the Jolly Kangaskhan, and everyone was like, wait, why does that outspeed me? Because everyone was using Adamant, so that was fun. I got second place, surprisingly. I don't know how. I mean, I used a Shed Ninja. I was that bad. I was using
Oh
a Shed
my.
Ninja.
But I mean, when people don't prep for that, man, there's nothing you
Yeah,
can do if
people
you
were like,
can't
why
hit
are
it.
you using that? I'm like, sorry, it's my first time. Now I breed Pokemon all the time. I'm breeding for other people because I have a system and it's easy, but back in the day, I was probably the worst Pokemon player ever. So yeah, I'm sorry, we got sidetracked a little there, going off my
No
worst.
worries, man. It's all things Pokemon
That is
podcast.
true. This
Got
is all
got
things.
it.
So yeah, that's my origin story. I used to be a hacker. Now I'm not. Um, Now that being said, I will say this: I do know how to make QR codes because remember when that was the thing? It was a quick bug they
Yeah,
fixed. I do know how to make QR codes, and I still make them for people. I'm gonna be honest. I have made QR codes for people, but in VGC we don't use those, so we actually breed
yeah,
the hacked Pokemon. So I
yeah. I
will be
remember
honest. I have
Gen
done that.
Gen 5. I forgot how I found out how to hack the GTS. There was
Oh
this way that
yes.
you literally had the GTS. I used to send myself so many shiny battle ready Pokemon. It was ridiculous.
When I first tried that, every time I accessed it, because I didn't know what I was doing, all I got was that I didn't get to send the mons. All I got was the GTS to Sammy Pokemon, but it would send me a random Pokemon, a random person's Pokemon. I think it
hmm
actually send me a random person's Pokemon, like Hobbit, and send it to me every time. So like I would just do that for hours. Like, oh, I got a level 25 Slowpoke from this Gerald, and then next would be a level 100 Shiny Dialga. Okay, I'll keep that. Throw out the Slowpoke. So that's how I got my assortment of Pokemon. I would just keep spamming them. Like, what do I get this time?
Yeah, man, and it is funny because I used to be one of those people that frown upon hating. I mean, hating, frown upon cheating
Yeah.
myself. Like I was like, oh my god, like when I was away at school, one of my college endeavors, this kid used to swear he was the best Pokemon trainer, and I'm like, yo, why are you taking this so seriously? It's just a game. And he was like, I'll beat you, but he used Pokesav, and
Uh,
that's for those of you who don't know what that was. I mean, it's not really relevant anymore, but it was
yeah.
basically ginning back then. He had an R4 card, and he had Pokesav on his computer, and he
Mm,
can literally make whatever Pokemon he want and just put it onto that R4 and be able to have every Pokemon. And he
mhm.
thought he was so amazing for that. Fun fact, I recently battled him. And it was like 5 years in advance, but I was like, hey, I mean, we never battled, and you always used to talk so much crap. You want to battle? And I absolutely annihilated him. So it
Those are the
felt
best stories.
it felt real good because it's just like, why you got to be a jerk, man? I just sit here and train my little sizzle or my back when Gen 4, Gen 5 were the days, man.
Would
But
you use gems?
I don't know about you, man, but I'm absolutely ecstatic. Like I
Yeah.
can't wait for November now. This is making my November that much better. I'm gonna get both games and I'm gonna play them both, and I'm ready for the ride, man. It should be wild.
That is right, November 18th, guys. That is the release date. By the way, we get this 5 days before UK. So if you are watching this in the UK, I'm sorry,
Ha
but
ha! If you watch
apparently,
this in the
yeah,
UK, you get to watch 5 days of my Let's Play. Ha ha
yeah, you're all
ha.
gonna sit there. I'm sorry, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, what? Oh,
Oh
uh,
man, I mean it to be did do we always get it? Didn't Japan get Gen 5 before us? If I'm
yes, they did
correct?
get Gen 5 before us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got it like a week before us, and
Hmm.
then we were like, no, we're not having that. We don't
Yeah,
need that anymore.
yeah, but so yeah, UK. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can be a little louder. I don't know. I mean, we we have loud states, so You know, that's what happens. Texas guys. We're loud.
Oh man.
Man, so I'm trying to think, did we cover everything?
Uh, I think there's one more thing we can cover. Do you think, as far as new TMs, new HMs, what do you think they can possibly bring to the table?
Ooh, Tim's HMs. I bet they will, but I hope they keep the you just need one TM or HM now. Because I hated in Gen 4, I'd have to go back. I played Hard Gold a lot. I'd have to.
Yeah.
I would just like grind money and then go and just buy a lot of every TMs. I like that we don't have to do that now. Just once and then you're good. So I bet they'll keep that. I guess it would be. I hope they had Hex. I hope they had the Hex TM because they don't have
okay.
Hex TM.
So you want them to make that a TM?
Yeah, I want them to make that a TM specifically because the reason I'm saying that is because I was breeding myself a competitive Gengar, which it's great. I love it recently, like just a few days ago. And I thought there was already a TM for Hex. And I was like searching, like, where is it? And then I finally realized there's not one. It's only Shadow Ball. So I had to like level them up an extra few levels just to get that. So if they had Hex, which is the only one I can really think of, they already have Toxic and that.
Some new things I want to see. Hold on. I want to see. What is it? I want to see a physical version of Tail Glow.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I had a bunch of these that I had in my brain, but of course, right now, when I have to think about them, I don't know what they are anymore. But physical Tail Glow was one of the main things. Anything that I feel as if they have, like, for one side and not the other, I don't think that's fair. It should be for both sides.
Yeah, I hear you. Definitely.
And then, my last thing I want, when you looked at the Japanese trailer and the guy actually picked up the Pokemon when he picked his starter.
Yes.
Like, I hope that's a hint at us having more connection with our Pokemon, meaning they can actually walk behind us again.
Yes. That would be great. I loved that back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That was great.
Because there's no reason for you to pick up your they've never picked up their Pokemon before.
Yeah.
Never. Like, they're usually just choose your starter and then they hand you a Pokeball. But no, you actually go to your starter and you physically grab it and you pick it up. Like that. Let that thing walk. Like, I want the owl to be able to be perched on my shoulder.
Yes. I can imagine like Lion King music playing as you lift it up.
Yes. Yes, like that. There's a meme with that already.
The sun shining in Pokemon Sun or the moon.
Or I want to see the water starter hanging out of, like, my backpack or something. Like, you know how the Gen 6 backpack was? Mm-hmm. Where it's kind of like a bag that you put over your shoulder?
Yeah.
I can see him hanging out of that. Or I can see, like, the cat being in my hat. Like, give us that type of connection with our Pokemon.
Definitely. And then they get, and then then they evolve, and then I can see, like, the owl, I don't know. I wouldn't want to perch on my shoulder necessarily.
Yeah, not if he's huge.
Yeah.
No, he can get in that Pokeball and not cut my shoulder to shreds.
Yes.
But like the baby Pokemon, I just want them to show the fact that because friendship is a thing, so make it so that they actually like you.
Even if it's just the 3 starters, just do that. Even if
like,
it's just,
we never got the opportunity to see Pokemon physically walk with us.
Mm-mm.
In 3D, minus riding on Mamoswines and Rhyhorns, stuff like that.
Or the what are they called? The Go-Go Goats.
Yeah, the Go-Goats and the Skiddos and stuff like that.
I was kind of expecting more freedom with that.
I mean, just think of having, like, you let one of your Noivern, like, let's say you let your Noivern out and it's absolutely in love with you and it just flies into your face and just smiles at you. Like, stuff like that, small stuff, that will just make the game so much better.
It really would.
Like, there should be a button for you to just let your Pokemon chill with you.
That would be great. That actually would be really nice. Like, let the Pokemon out.
Yeah. But obviously there should be a limit. It shouldn't be able to do it until it reaches max happiness.
Oh, yeah.
But that, like, come on, that would be insane. That would take Pokemon over the top. Nobody would worry about Animal Crossing anymore because Pokemon, you can play with your Pikachu.
And then maybe people will stop being like, you're forcing animals to fight. Well, we're making them love you. There's this for,
and then I'd be like, I'm not forcing my Audino to fight. I'm forcing him to get beat up and take hits. because that's all he's good for.
But it's
And
okay
give,
because they just recover in the end, so
yeah,
it's all good.
he's just wish protecting, friend. What are you talking about? He's not fighting.
Look, he's wishing on a star. See, he's happy.
Oh man,
Oh.
but I think we covered pretty much a lot, man. I mean, do you have anything else you want to handle?
Not that I can think of. We talked about competitive options, in-game options. I guess we won't be able to talk much more about Sun or Moon until the next thing. But that doesn't mean this is the All Things Pokemon podcast. So next week, assuming we do this next week, I think we're planning on making this weekly.
Yeah,
Right?
we're gonna do it weekly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much available anytime, so as
Yeah.
long as you're good to go, I'm gonna be good to go. We're gonna make
Yeah.
sure to get this out weekly because this is fun. I had a lot of fun. It's always
Same
fun
here.
speculating and
It is.
talking about something that we have in common. Which I mean, I've met a lot of great friends because of Pokemon, and I'm happy to say Aerodactyl was one of them.
Woo! Yeah, same here, Jspeckz. Same here. Literally took the words out of my mouth, or in this case, my microphone. I don't know.
That blue Yeti.
Yes, the Yeti's mouth. Yes, and also, again, I love your new headset. So, by the way, guys, you can't tell, he got a new headset, and the quality is beautiful.
Quality is ridiculous compared to I wanted to cry when my PX21s broke because they broke so randomly. I didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden the mic just stopped working. So I had to go without a headset for like 3, 4, 5 months. But now I have a new one, and it didn't even cost me that much, and it sounds amazing. So yeah.
Woo! I hear you. So, I guess in the future episodes, we'll be talking about Pokemon news, possibly Pokemon Go. That's definitely something that we'll be talking about, I'm guessing, in the near future.
And I mean, if any of you in the comment section have anything you want us to handle for one of these episodes, feel free to leave a comment down below because I mean, stuff like this sometimes it's hard to pick a topic. So
Yes,
I mean,
please.
any little bit of help is absolutely appreciated. Anything you want us to cover
Mm-hmm.
for you, do it by all means because this is fun for us, but this is also informational and just something for you guys to listen to, to get you guys more in depth with what's going on.
Yep. So I guess in the future we'll be talking about VGC, Pokemon leagues, Pokemon Master Cup, cough cough.
Hold on. Hey, Arrow. I actually, never mind. I'll hold on. In fact, I'm about to mute myself. I'll be right back. Tell them what you were telling them. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, you're fine. I guess I'll keep talking then. So, guys, I guess in the future we'll be talking about more about competitive battle scenes such as VGC, OU, Smogon. This is the All Things Pokemon podcast. We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about our own stories. If you all have any testimonials possibly in the future too, maybe we'll mention that. I don't know. I'm rather new to this podcast thing. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about Pokemon Master Cup, I'm guessing, a lot in the future because I will be an analyst for Season 2, which I'm oh so hyped about. And also, Jspeckz.
So am I.
Oh, you're back.
So am
Sweet.
I.
And he is one of your co-owner with Fanbase, I believe, right? Co-owners.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Me and him just well, I mean, originally I came up with the idea and then I pitched it to him and he was down. So I was hype. I was like, yo, let's do it. I got somebody to back me up. I mean, because stuff like that, leagues,
Mhm.
you need it when you have help, man. It's such an easier process. But Arrow, I know you're an analyst right now, but I can't wait for you to possibly join.
I'm so hyped. I would love to join in the future, but I'm also excited to be an analyst because commentary is what I love to do. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and as far as what the PMC is, people, because I'm not going to try to take over the podcast for this or anything. It's just, if you know what the GBA is, it's basically that. It's a league where we have to draft certain teams. There's a channel for it. There's a Twitter for it. I'm pretty much the spokesperson for it because I talk way too much. I can't help it. It's what I do. But yeah, it's amazing, and I'm very happy to have Arrow on board. He's gonna be telling you guys what he thinks about these teams and get him some more experience in the singles.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. So now, next time I'll do singles, I know what I'm doing, and not like, let's try this. So yes, and what I also love about being a part of this is it also lets you, as a YouTuber, build connections with other YouTubers and, increase your network span, which is another thing I'm looking forward to.
Exactly. I mean, luckily for me, I'm one of those people that like to reach out to people because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I reached out to Arrow. I'm pretty sure that's how we met because I think I reached out to you because I know I reached out to Tyler,
Yeah.
and now I
And
have
you
a
actually introduced me to Tyler.
yeah, I now have a bunch of amazing friends. I talk to Tyler basically daily, and a lot more people. It's crazy. Like now I know what Nappy means when he said he that's how Nappy got his friends. He reached out to them, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'd love to be friends with the bigger guys, but I have my own little community. I'm happy about it because we're all gonna grow together.
Definitely, and most of us are rather small. I believe are you you're in your, I believe you haven't hit 100 or you're about to. You're really
I'm
close.
I'm really close to 100. I've actually been picking up. It's crazy, but both my YouTube and my Twitch actually have been picking up. I went from 17 followers to like 150 in a week. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I haven't
Congratulations.
been able to really stream since, but it's like every time I do stream, I get a minimum of like 12 followers.
That's
So
great.
I guess I'm doing something good. I'm on up and up, people. Find me on Twitch.
You clearly are, and I would like to say I'm close. I'm still like I'm not even the 90s now. I got two yesterday, which I was happy about, but I'm like 86 right now. So I'm getting there, slowly growing. This is my second year doing YouTube, but I'm having a blast. And I like to say the quality is definitely improving. I look back at my old videos and I just kind of like cry a little. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so do I. So
can I,
do I, man.
can
Looking
I
at my
just,
first Let's Play, I'm like, oh my.
yeah. Like, what was I doing? What is wrong with
What was
me?
I remember because my first Let's Play, I haven't even. I think I'm about to hit the year mark if I've been doing this, but I've only been consistently uploading for like 7 months now.
Hmm.
My first Let's Play was Heart Gold, and I didn't know how to record. I didn't know how to edit. I was recording it literally on the Desmume,
Oh
like
wow.
because
Yeah.
Desmume gives you a recording option. And I was literally taking that and just putting it on YouTube, throwing on my webcam. And now I know how to do a lot more. I know how to edit. I know,
Definitely hear ya.
yeah, and it's crazy what networking has been able to help me do.
Oh, definitely. I'd say that we're quote unquote self taught, if you know what I mean. Like we learned how to, like just by like I learned how to edit. I learned how to add music and overlays. I learned how to do my own graphics. Even I, for the first year, I didn't do thumbnails. I just didn't do thumbnails, and I started a few like I'd say earlier last year, and it definitely helps. So, guys, for those of you that are thinking about starting YouTube, just do it. You will learn so many new skills, and you'll make friends and just have fun.
Yeah, you'll make a lot of friends. My biggest thing about doing YouTube is the main reason why. Yeah, I want to get big,
I hear
just
you.
because that's something I want, like for myself, as far as a goal. I want to increase. Like I'm not doing this for no reason, but at the same time, I'm doing it to have fun, man. It's
Yeah.
honestly the most fun I've ever had. And when I'm feeling bad, I know I can sit here and talk to my internet friends and record some videos, and it will take it all away.
I hear you. So I don't know if there's anything else to talk about, but I'd like to say this has been a great first episode.
Indeed, I'm happy to see it go up. I'm gonna spam it. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna do like 30 comments on the video as if I was watching it myself.
Nice. And we've been recording for about an hour, so I like this length actually because it's just for something people to listen to. So I love that.
Yeah, and as far as future episodes, would you want me to try to include some special guests or something like that? Because I definitely have some people that would love to be a part of this.
Oh, definitely. I would love to do that. More people, the more the merrier. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure more heads, more people, more ideas kicking back and forth will give us a lot more to talk about.
Definitely. So I think that's it. Shall we close off then?
Indeed.
Do you want to or shall I?
Uh, all right, people. I'm your boy Jspeckz. That's Rockin Aerodactyl. We are out from the All Things Pokemon podcast. See you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.